Third video of the night. Yeah, I'm bored. I'm sitting in a motel room in Dallas, Texas, because the AC's out in my truck, like I said in one of my other videos. I've seen some other videos out there on YouTube about what it's like to be a truck driver, and a lot of people, they don't quite cover everything, I don't think, or they miss things. And I don't think it's their fault that they miss them. It's just, when you're talking about stuff, you miss stuff. I miss stuff. We all make mistakes. We're human. Ain't none of us walk on water. But driving a truck. What's it like to drive a truck? Driving a truck is early mornings or late nights. It depends on what you got going on. Long days, or it can be at least. It can be stressful because you're trying to get the goods that you've got on your truck to a certain point in a certain time frame, because you want to get that delivered so that you can get that money for that paycheck. And if you get held up at a dock or a port or wherever, and you only got 14 hours on duty time that you can drive in, and that 14-hour clock starts as soon as you come on duty. And in that 14 hours, you got 11 hours to drive within those 14 hours. Once you hit your 11 hours, you can't drive anymore. Or once you hit your 14-hour mark, you can't drive anymore, regardless if you drove 11 hours or not. You have to take a break before you are on duty for 8 straight hours. At some point in there, you have to take a break. It has to be a half-hour break. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Do I agree with the 11 and 14 rule? No. I think they ought to go to what Canada's got. Canada's got a 13-15 rule. 13 hours of driving, 15 hours of on duty. But we live in America. Those are the laws. You got to abide by them if you're going to live here. You want to drive more, move to Canada. Well, I'd like to run by Canada's rules, but I love the country I live in, so I'll stay here and just deal with the 11 and 14. But the other aspects of driving a truck. The other aspects of driving a truck are this. You're gone. You're away from your family. You're away from your friends. You might get a job to where you're home every weekend. You might get a local job to where you're home every night. Could be a dedicated run. Could just be a local job delivering Pepsi or Coke or Budweiser or whatever. But you're probably not going to make the same kind of money as you would if you're out. Because if you're out, you can run. And there's no limitations on what loads you can deliver to where. My first load went from Iowa to Tacoma, Washington. My second load came out of just 45 minutes east of Tacoma, and it was a 2-stop load, one going to Dallas, the other load goes to Houston, or the other half of it, I should say. But those paid really well. Paid better going out to the West Coast, didn't pay as well coming back, but it still paid decent. And there was no limitations on the, what my fleet manager could put me up with. I just told him, I said, man, you can run me. I don't need to go home. Don't really want to go home. I want to make some money. I want to pay off some debt. So, the other aspect of driving a truck is that you can eat out of the truck. You could get a microwave, you could get a refrigerator, you could get all of that jazz, put it all in your truck. But there's one thing that I kind of see with that kind of creates a problem. Everything you put in your truck is weight. You're only allowed to haul up to 80,000 pounds without special permits. So if you think about it and you start putting a coffee pot, you start putting a microwave, you start putting TV, refrigerator, all this food in there, plus you got all your personal belongings as far as like clothing and personal hygiene stuff in there. You might have some books or whatever. The TV I can understand, it gives you something to do at night when you're stopped at a truck stop or whatever. But like the fridge and everything else, you got to figure that keeps adding more and more weight. Which the more weight that you carry around with you normally, the less weight that you could haul. So you might, and I've seen guys do it, they put almost 1,000 pounds of stuff in their truck. And it's 1,000 pounds heavier than what it normally is. Well, you want to give yourself a decent little spot in there, to where you know what your truck weighs when it's empty, full of fuel. But if you got all this extra stuff in there as far as like a refrigerator and stuff like that, and a microwave and a crock pot and a coffee maker and all this other stuff, well, that just adds more weight, which means you might not be able to haul as much stuff or haul a certain load, because if that load weighs 47,000 and you can only haul 46.5, you're not going to get that load. Or you're going to have to go back to the shipper after you scale it, realize that you're at 80,500 pounds, and you're going to have to go back to them and have them take stuff off. And I know from previous experience in my past life of driving before this episode, going back to a shipper and telling them that they got to take stuff off because you're overweight, when they just loaded up 3 other trucks previous to you with the same load, they're not going to be, they're going to get a little iffy about that. So, the other thing is, cooking in the truck, man, it just puts all that smelling stuff in there, I mean, after a while, you're constantly cooking. It's a small space. That's the other thing about it. You start putting all this stuff in there, you're taking up other space that you got for stuff that you might really want in there. And I understand you might want a fridge and stuff like that. My thing is, I just grab a case of bottled water and throw it in there. I don't have to have my water ice cold. If I do, I get a cup, fill it up full of ice, and I just keep pouring water in there. If you're going to stop every 3 hours or whatever like that to do a load check, you're going to have to stop somewhere in your day to do your half-hour break. You can get more ice then. The other aspects of driving a truck, you've got, said you're away from your family. You might want to cook in your truck. You might not. I wouldn't if I was you. I don't cook in the truck. I don't have anything in the truck, and I don't really have a whole lot of desire to put anything in my truck to cook with. And I eat on the road. I do. I snack a lot, so I eat a lot of peanut butter crackers and stuff like that. So I bring some of that stuff with me. I do go to, I don't know, your local grocery store. I get Belvita bars and the peanut butter cheese crackers. The little pretzel chips by Hanover, pretzel rods, stuff like that. And I snack on that throughout the day. So I don't eat like a whole lot of full meals. I eat like a breakfast. I get like a breakfast sandwich or something like that and a coffee. And then I turn around, and at the end of the day, I usually try to get something when I stop for the night. Try to eat something then, or I'll try to eat on my half-hour break. Get some sort of a meal. I usually stop at a truck stop, go in. They might have a Subway or McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever, and get a sandwich. So yeah. Driving a truck can be real lonely. If you got a problem with being alone, driving a truck's probably not for you. Unless you got a really good cell phone plan, and you got a lot of people that don't work, that are willing to talk to you at all hours of the day when you're bored out of your mind. You got to be real secure with yourself to be able to do this job, because there's not a lot of people to talk to out there. They aren't on the CB talking like what you seen on Smokey and the Bandit when you were growing up. There's, you talk to people when you go to a truck stop. I mean, just about anybody will pick a conversation up. But at the same time, when you're out there driving, the other thing is you get in traffic, you really don't need to be on the phone. If you're on the phone talking and you're in the middle of like downtown rush hour traffic, it's time to hang the phone up, man. You need to be paying attention, because I'm here to tell you, every person out there that's got a driver's license probably shouldn't have a driver's license. They'll cut you off because they're texting on the phone. They don't realize you're there. They cut in front of you when you've got proper spacing. And then the next thing you know, you ain't got nothing because you can't even see their trunklet. So it can be stressful, trying to get your loads delivered on time. Trying to, manage your time wisely. Time management is a huge thing when it comes to driving a truck. You got to be able to plan your days accordingly. When you first get the load, you got to be able to trip plan. So you want to be able to find the shortest route to get there, but you can't use like Google Maps. Don't even think about using Google Maps. That's going to take you on some non-truck route in the middle of some residential area, and you're going to get stuck. Got to really be able to look at an atlas or read an atlas, and figure out the best way. What's going to be the shortest way? And that'll come with time and experience. You'll see different things. So there's that aspect. But time management's huge, because you might, well, like this load that I've got here, I picked it up Tuesday afternoon, and it needed to be delivered by Friday afternoon, and it was like almost 2,100 miles, and Tuesday I got hung up at the port where I was dropping off the load I had on the trailer, so I didn't get out of there, and I was only able to drive 400 miles on Tuesday. I had to turn around. I did a quick turnaround, did my 10-hour break, I got back up, and then I ran hard. Didn't do a whole lot of stopping. Stop and do a load check, get some fuel, do a 30-minute break, stop, do a load check, and then I was done for the day. Turned right back around, did a 10-hour break, drove another 650 miles. Same way. Load check, 30-minute break, load check, and then stop for the night. But you got to be able to plan yourself out, and you got to be able to look and figure out where these truck stops are. Which Google Earth can help you with that stuff on where truck stops are. There are other apps out there like Trucker Path. It's a really good app on where truck stops are. It's got all the truck stops, rest areas, way stations. If you use Pilot or Flying J for your fuel, they've got an app that'll show you where their truck stops are along the whatever path you're taking. And then you can click on them, and it'll tell you how far away you are, so you can kind of guesstimate it. You can go, okay, well, I'm averaging like 58 mile an hour right now, so you just divide those miles by 58, and that'll tell you how long it's going to be before you get there. And then you got to look at your clock, and you got to be able to know, okay, well, I've only got 4.5 hours left to drive all day, but it's going to take me almost 5 hours to get to that stop, so I'm not going to be able to use that, so I got to backtrack. And you might not always be able to stop at, like, if you run with Pilot or Flying J, they give you free showers, with getting fuel there. Well, you might not always be able to stop at a Pilot or a Flying J. You might have to stop at a TA. You might have to stop at Joe Blow's truck stop in the middle of Wyoming. And if you do, you're probably not going to get a shower unless you pay $10 to $13 for a shower. I will tell you this: it's not going to kill you to go a day without a shower. If you got to go, you take a shower on Monday morning, and you roll out, you don't get a shower Monday night or Tuesday morning. When you go to stop, Tuesday night or Wednesday or something like that, you're on your 30-minute, that would be a great time to take a shower. It's a great way to burn a 30-minute break. You can go through, you can drop, you can run in there real quick, go get fuel, park your truck, put it on sleeper berth, run in, grab a quick shower and stuff like that. Yeah, you're not going to be able to stand around in the shower for 15, 20 minutes. You're going to have to go in, wash your body, come back out and get back in the truck. There was a couple days this past week that I didn't shower one of the days, just because of where I had to stop. One of the days I did, and I paid the $10 to take the shower. It is what it is. I don't care. I wanted a shower. It was worth the $10 to me. So there's that aspect. The other aspect is laundry. You might not always be able to get to do your laundry. If you do, you're going to be in a truck stop somewhere. So the best time to do that is if you're stuck somewhere on a 34-hour reset, do your laundry then. That is the best time to do your laundry on a 34-hour reset. You have plenty of time. You can go in there, put your laundry in, do whatever. One of the nice things about driving a truck is that if you don't have an apartment anymore and you're like just out on the road or whatever all the time, you can save up a lot of money. If you got a lot of debt, you can save your money up, pay your debt off real quick. You could be out of debt real quick because, I spend about $100 to $150 a week on food and other stuff. I smoke, so I buy cigarettes, so it costs me a little more. And I don't buy generic cigarettes. I buy premium cigarettes. If I'm going to smoke, I'm going to go ahead and just smoke the premium ones. I'm going to spend the money. What's an extra couple of bucks? Yeah, a lot of people say, well, if you're smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day, that could save you $10. Well, yeah, it could, or I could just quit and save myself, you know, heck, if you're in Washington, they're like $8 a pack, so what is that, $32 a week if you're from there? So, but that's about all that I can think of, really. I'm sure there's some things I've missed, some things that, you know, other people might have covered about driving a truck, you know, but just think real hard about it. If you're going to do it and you're married, please talk to your spouse. Talk to them about it, on what you're thinking about doing, so that they know what's up. You know, have them do the research, no different than you. I don't want to pretend or act as if I'm the end all to knowledge on what it's like to drive a truck. This is just kind of my experience. You know, you could be gone 6 to 8 weeks at a time. You're not going to get home all the time. You could be like in the situation I'm in now, where the air conditioning's out of my truck, so you're having to stay in a motel. It's either that or you stay in your truck and you sweat it out, you know, which could be dangerous. You know, sleeping in a truck when it's 80, 90 degrees outside, you could very easily die of a heat stroke. So, you know, it's one of those things, you're not going to get a lot of sleep. So when you do drive, you're going to be tired, which could slow down your reaction, which creates you to make a mistake while you're driving down the highway, which could be detrimental to you too. So, but if you got any other questions, hit me up. Do my best I can to answer them. Talk to y'all later.